Hi, my name is Annie Hall, and I just wanted to document my journey. I've been diagnosed on I believe it was, no, June 17, with Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 2A, and today's is July 7th, and it's going to be my first chemo treatment. I'm extremely nervous. Anyways, I'm in a lot of pain right now because I'm recovering from 2 surgeries that I had, and one of them is healing really nicely. I think you can see it right here. My incision looks really good. He did a great job, Dr. Alan Cohen. And what he did is he cut it just horizontally right in one of my folds, and it looks really good now. So that's healing well, but I'm still having a lot of pain. And actually, this is where the cancer is. I've got 10 infected lymph nodes, and it's really still painful, but what they did is they removed one lymph node and they sent it to pathology, diagnosed it, and that's when they found out I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so to get better, I will need 8 treatments of chemotherapy spread along in about a 4-month period. And what they're going to do now is they decided, instead of going to my vein to administer the chemo drugs, they wanted to install a portacath, which is a catheter. This is the second surgery I'm recovering from, as you will see. This one is really kicking my butt. It's very painful. And there's like a little bummy here. You can't see it yet, but I'll show you later when they remove the bandage today. And what it is, it's like a little porthole, and that's where they're going to be administering the chemo drugs. And it'll be less painful, and it's like a bullseye every time I do it than having to look for a vein. So inside here is the catheter. It's about the size of a silver dollar, and there's a little hose, not a hose, but a tube that's inside and goes all the way in there right into my jugular vein. So this way, when they go in with the drugs, it'll just be like a funnel effect going right into my jugular vein, and they will be administering the drugs. And I'm going to be sitting in the office for about 3 to 4 hours each time, and it's going to be every other week. So that's going to give me a little time off to relax a little bit. And supposedly the first 3 days after chemo are going to be the hardest. I'm not looking forward to that. Anyways, I'll be losing my hair, and I love my long hair. So I may be donating my hair, I don't know. But anyways, I already got my wig, so I'm all set. And basically today is July 7th, and I wanted to, record my journey. And you will see me changing from treatment to treatment. So this is the first treatment. Don't know how I'll handle the drugs. I heard there's a lot of side effects, like, I'll probably be experiencing nausea, maybe a little vomiting. And so yesterday I went to the market and bought a whole bunch of frozen fruit to keep in the freezer, and yogurt and milk, and things to make a smoothie, because I figured tonight I'm probably not going to be up to eating a big meal. So I'm probably going to want a smoothie. So I got lots of that stuff. I armed myself with, I bought bottles of ginger ale, which is good to soothe your stomach when you have an upset stomach. And a friend of mine told me I should buy a bag at Trader Joe's of ginger candy, because that helps with nausea. So I did that. So I'm all ready to go. And in a few hours I'm going to be going to the doctor's office for my first chemo. And anyways, so every time I have a chemo, we will film it, and you'll see my progress or my deterioration, I don't know. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to get very sick just to get better. And that's the sad part of it, because along with killing the cancer cells, they're also going to be killing good cells, good healthy cells. The good news is, after 4 months after chemotherapy is over, the healthy cells will regenerate. So that's the good news. But in the meantime, there'll be days when I'm very, very tired, and I won't want to do much. So I'm going to make sure I don't schedule anything important a few days after chemo, and I'll just do all my scheduling the week after, when I'm feeling a little bit better. And all my friends know not to expect too much of me. that if they invite me to a party, I'll have to tell them the morning of the party, because I'm not going to know how I'm going to feel ahead of time. So anyways, hopefully this will help people going through the same thing that I'm going through, and to see maybe it's not going to be such a bad journey. And I'm a very tough person, but today I'm very sore because I'm still recovering. You know, I'm sore from this surgery, and I'm sore from this surgery. And also, I've been sleeping on the recliner in the living room for the past 26 or 27 nights. Very comfortable, but I kind of sleep just on my back, and I'm one of these people that like sleeping on my side. Well, I haven't been able to do that for 27 days because I have surgery on both sides, so I can't really sleep on either side. So anyways, I hope this will be helpful maybe one day to somebody who's going through what I'm going through. Just to recap, this all started on, I think it was February 25. I had a sore throat after dinner, and I just thought it was maybe the beginning of a cold. And the next day I was getting ready for bed, I was brushing my teeth, I looked in the mirror and I saw this big lump, and I went, oh my God, what is that? I couldn't figure out what it was. So a few days later the lump was still there, so I made an appointment with my doctor. And he wasn't sure what it was, so he sent me to an ENT specialist to take a sample. It's called a needle biopsy, where they just take, a few samples and send it to the pathology. Well, what happened is the results came back benign, which means normal. And the doctor told me, don't worry about it, it's not cancer like you were afraid it might be, because I am a cancer survivor. 3 years ago I had breast cancer. So every time I see a lump, I get really freaked out. So it's always important to check them out. So anyways, he sent me home with a clean bill of health, and he said in 6 weeks, if you still have a sore throat, give me a call, and we'll run some more tests. So what happened is 6 weeks later, I still had my sore throat, and since I really didn't like that doctor very much, and he was also very far away on the other side of town, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to find an ENT specialist in my neighborhood. And I was lucky to find one in West Hills, which is very close to me, about maybe 9 miles away. I researched this doctor on the internet. His name is Dr. Alan Cohen. He's an ENT specialist. Anyways, I went to see him with the copy of the pathology report from the lab, analyzing my lump. And he looked at it and he said, well, okay, let's order more tests, and we'll do an MRI and a bunch of other testing and blood work and stuff like that. So what happened is the MRI revealed that the left side of my neck, there was not just one lump, there were 10. So anyways, I started crying. I broke down because I was afraid it was cancer. But the doctor said, don't worry. There's still a chance it may not be. Maybe it's just an infection, but we don't know what we're dealing with. It could be bacteria, it could be a virus, but I can't really prescribe any drugs to you, which is what I was dying to get. I thought maybe antibiotics would help. He said, I can't prescribe any drugs to you until we know what we're dealing with. So I'm going to order a whole bunch of other tests, and he also said I'm going to order an even more extensive MRI, which is no longer just the head and the neck, which this was. He said, I'm going to order a total body MRI, and that one was called PET-CT, PET-CT. And he said, that's going to be the whole body. And what we're going to do is we're going to inject you with radioactive glucose, because cancer loves glucose. That's what it thrives on, and that's all it lives on is glucose, which is sugar. So what they did is they injected me the day of the scan. They injected me with radioactive glucose, and we did the whole body scan. And the result was that they did find cell activity, and believe it or not, all the glucose went right to the neck, and there was a lot of cell activity there. So all the little cells went right there, and there was a little bit of activity here in my throat. And he noticed a little bit of cell activity where I had my breast cancer before, which freaked me out. But he said, don't worry about it. That may just be, it's still, the body's still healing, and that's why the cells are in the scar area.